Hey everybody, Chad here. Hopefully everybody's having a fantastic day. This video is going to be about why are Thai women so attractive? What makes Thai women so attractive to guys? What makes Thai women so attractive to Farang, like a foreigner? Why do you want to be in a relationship with them? Why maybe you want to marry them? What's the attraction around Thai women? And we're not just going to talk about Thai women. Like in my experience, I travel a lot, so it's the Philippines. The Philippines has the same culture as Thailand, Vietnam, and I'm going to put a different spin on it. I did live in Thailand for 1 year. I came back, been back about 6 months in Ohio visiting my family. I am going to go back to Thailand, but I did live in Thailand for 6 months. I also owned a high-end condo in the Philippines. So I've been in the Philippines several times because I owned a condo there, and I was in a relationship with a Filipina before for like 10 years, 11 years. So that's a little snapshot of my background. So so that way you think I'm just not Googling it and and so forth and so forth. But anyway, let's get rocking and rolling. And by the way, I didn't do this on purpose, but I just noticed my shirt matches the background. So hopefully you might just see my head. I'm kind of like a chameleon today. Get my hair cut tomorrow. I'm letting it grow out, so had to let it grow out so it looks crazy for them to trim it. But anyway, what makes Thai women so attractive to a Farang, to a foreigner? Okay. And like I said, I'm gonna put a spin on it. It's not just because they're Asian, they're Thai. It's not just because maybe they look younger than their age, or they're thinner than most girls in the United States or UK or Europe. It's not talking about those things. But what I want to talk to you about is culture. Okay, one thing I noticed, and it wasn't Thailand at first. One thing I noticed with the Philippines, and when I had my Philippine girlfriend, we had a long-term relationship. We lived together for like 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, something like that. And one of the things she brought up to me, and she was actually from the Philippines. She lived in California. I lived in California for 18 years, and that's where I met her, was in California. She was already in California. But one of the things, we were talking one day, and this was a long, long time ago, probably a decade ago, and we were just talking about culture. At the time, we were talking about culture of the Philippines. But she was telling me like how the culture in the Philippines wasn't like the culture in the United States. And what she was meaning, we were discussing work, okay? And she was pointing out, she was like, well, in the United States, the big difference is, United States, everybody lives for the weekend. They hate their job. They go to work Monday through Friday. They hate Monday through Friday. All they talk about is the weekend. So when you go to work, they talk about the weekend. They can't wait for the weekend to come so they can finally do what they want to do, or party, or go out. But she was telling me, well, it's not like that in the Philippines. In the Philippines, we kind of just live day by day. You know what I mean? We just, we don't live for the weekend. You don't hear nothing like that in the Philippines. Like, you don't hear like, oh, I can't wait till it's Friday. She said like people don't grow up hating their job. People don't grow up. They just live day by day. When they go to work, they come home and they do what they want to do. They want to go to a movie, stay out late. That's what they do. And they get up and go to work. They just enjoy life. And that always intrigued me. Okay. And, especially when I was I was involved in performance management, training development, back in the day, management, running companies, being a director or VP or COO. So that always intrigued me a little bit, just about the cultural differences. And then when I visited the Philippines, it was exactly that. People just, they just live for that day. Now, in the United States, we might look at it as a negative. Well, they don't have no responsibility, blah, blah, blah. Forget all that stuff. Forget all that bullshit, okay? They just take advantage of the moment, okay? They don't live for the weekend, okay? And that's kind of, fast forward kind of a decade, okay? And, I lived in Thailand for a year. Most of 2021, I lived in Thailand. And then it kind of fled over to 2022. So probably half of 2021 and half of 2022, I lived in Thailand. And that's what I kind of noticed about Thailand. So when I lived in Thailand, when I went to Thailand, that's kind of what I noticed. It was the same culture. Okay, they didn't live for the weekend. Okay, you don't hear anybody say that, oh, I can't wait for Friday, so I finally can do what I want. I can't wait to Friday so I can go out. You don't hear anybody say that stuff in Thailand. I mean, they're the same way as in the Philippines. They just live for the day. They take advantage of the day. If they want to go out, they go out. They want to hang with friends, they go to hang. But they want to stay out all night, then go to work. That's what they do. Okay, they just enjoy life and, enjoy the job that they have. Okay, there is no, you know what I mean? There is no like, oh, I hate my job Monday through Friday. I hate life. I can't wait for the weekend. I mean, that's stereotypically, that's kind of how it is in the United States. Okay, I can't really talk about Europe or the UK because I don't live in Europe and I don't live in the UK. Okay, I never worked in those countries, so I can't really say that's the culture. But in the United States, the culture is more like, from my experience, is you're overworked. Okay, so you live for the weekend, you're overworked during the week. I mean, companies don't want to give you breaks and so forth and so forth. So that's kind of is a switcheroo when you go to Thailand. So that's kind of the topic of this video is, what makes Thai girls so attractive? I mean, why are they so attractive? And it's not because of their looks. It's really because they just enjoy life. They just enjoy the day. They're not letting, even if they don't make great money, they're not letting that beat them up. Okay, if they have a job, they go to their job and they just enjoy their job. When they get off work, they just enjoy life. Hey, I'm off work, let's go do this, let's do this. And it doesn't matter what age. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what age. Okay, I can remember my ex-Filipina. I mean, I call her Lola because then you go, grandma, grandpa means Lolo and Lola in Philippines, in the Filipina, or the Philippine language in Tagalog. So her mom, I always called her Lola. Her mom was in her 70s. And she would go, it was just like she was a little teenager. She was never at home in the Philippines. I mean, for one, it's easy to travel in the Philippines. It's easy to get on a jeepney or a tricycle, whatever. They take you all over. Plus, she's comfortable because, she's in the Philippines. She knows where everything is. She would just be out all day running around and come home. I mean, it's just a totally different culture. And yes, I'm talking a lot about the Philippines, and I'm kind of mixing Thailand in there also because I lived in Thailand for 1 year. But what I notice is they're both the same. They're both kind of congruent, in this perspective. And I think that's why really a forang or a foreigner, when you come from the United States, when you come from the UK, when you come from Europe, especially, you come from countries that you're pretty much overworked. United States, most people are overworked. A lot of companies don't want to even give you breaks. I mean, I'll give you an example. If you don't agree with me, maybe you do, maybe you don't. Right now, I visit my mom in Ohio, small towns. These small towns around here are factory towns. You'd be surprised. Like, I went to work in a factory, and I never worked in a factory before in my entire life. And it was like a culture shock. It was like stepping back in the 1920s, 1930s, or 40s. I mean, seriously, either how people talk to you, and the biggest thing is they didn't even want to give you breaks, even though there's the Ohio labor laws, OSHA laws, and stuff like this, national laws all around this. They still don't want to give you breaks, or they want to give you a 20-minute lunch and 10-minute breaks. You get a 10-minute break every 2 hours, then you get a 20-minute lunch. Then you work deep in the factory. It takes you like 2-3 minutes to walk to the break room. It takes you 2-3 minutes to walk back to your department in the factory, and they don't want to give you walk time. By the time you walk to the break room, it's time to walk back. I mean, it's totally backwards, and stuff like that. No, it's not lawful, whatever, what they're doing. And this is like all these factories around here where I'm in, the automotive factories, food factories, alcohol factories, pretty much they're all the same. And there might be a good factory out there once in a while, but around here, they're all hurting because they can't keep employees now, but people don't want to put up with it. and it doesn't click with the director of HR. It doesn't click like, well, why do people don't want to stay at work? You know what I mean? And then we see it on TV. We see it on TV. Then we see on TV about other countries, and we're led to believe, see, this is the big thing. We're led to believe that other countries are overworked, okay? We're led to believe that, China has child laborers. We're led to believe, they work 15-hour days. We're led to believe all this information, but is it really true? Okay. Have you ever lived in China? Have you ever lived in Thailand? You know what I mean? Have you ever lived in these countries where you hear all these rumors? Just see it for yourself, see it with your own eyes, except on a movie, except on the news, except on TV, okay? And what I want to try to point out here is in Thailand and the Philippines, it's totally different. I mean, even if they have a job, they work 8 hours, maybe they work 12 hours, okay? What I start noticing is they come home flipping happy. You know what? They come home like they haven't even worked 12 hours. They come home with energy. I mean, one of the things is they're giving adequate breaks at work. They're not so much overworked when they go to work like it is in the States. But they come home happy. They come home joyful. They come home like, oh, let's do this, let's do that. You know what I mean? Versus more of the States where you kind of beat up a little bit. And I don't want to put this on a negative, the States and Europe and stuff like that, the work culture and stuff, but a lot of stuff that we see on TV just is not true. A lot of stuff we see on the news just is not true, okay, about work cultures in other countries. Unless you live there in that country yourself and you see it with your own eyes, then, start to believe it. And I'm not saying there's nothing out there like that in other countries or Thailand, but anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's stay focused. But I think that's what draws you to a Thai girl, what draws you to a Filipina, what draws you to like what makes Thai girls so attractive, okay? Besides the looks and besides, the physical aspect. And I think it's more the culture. I think it's more they take it like day by day. They're more happy. You know what I mean? They enjoy life way more than women in the States do. I mean, because women in the States kind of get a little bit more where it's like the same thing. They hate their job Monday through Friday. They live for the weekend. Okay, they don't want to do anything Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday, because all they think about work, or they're a career woman that, they're working 12-hour days. They come home exhausted. And because they don't get breaks, even in office jobs and stuff, like you're a director or VP or whatever, they come home exhausted. And that's really the flip side to a lot of the Asian countries like Thailand. And I think that's what makes Thai girls so attractive because they are fun to be around. And if you've been to Thailand or you've been in the Philippines, you know kind of what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what they do for work. If they have a normal job, if they're a bar girl, if they do freelance, they work in a red light district, there's nothing wrong with that stuff. But you start noticing they're just enjoying life. They're fun to be around, okay? Most of them have a lot of energy. They want to do stuff. And they just don't want to do stuff because you're a parang. Even if they have a Thai boyfriend, they're kind of the same way. If they have other Thai friends, they're the same way. They're just living life, living day by day. And you can put a pro and con to it. Well, living day by day, they have no responsibility. Flush that down the toilet, okay? We should be living life. We should be doing what we want to do. We should, it's kind of like the saying, like live until you die. You know what I mean? Are you living life to the fullest? Are you doing what you want to do in life, in your own life? Exactly that. So, at this point, I'm kind of rambling on. I'll kind of, cut this video off here. But I just want to show kind of my perspective about the culture. To me, it's the culture that makes it attractive, okay? It's not just the physical attraction, because even if somebody's very, very physically attractive, you can be turned off by them very quickly. If they're rude and snotty, attitude, and so forth and so forth, that's a turn off for me. But what's a turn on really with Thailand is really about the culture. They just enjoy life. They're happy. They're happy to be around you. They're happy to go out and do stuff. They just, they're just more joyful taking it day by day. And that's really how it should be, in my opinion. And, you know, especially if you come in from different countries with different work ethics and stuff like that. That's what I kind of enjoy with Thailand or the Philippines, Vietnam. Sometimes it's the same way. They just enjoy life, and they're not, even though they have a job, a regular job, they're not beat up by their job. And that's what you start noticing. You know, you go to the mall in Thailand, you go to the mall in the Philippines, they're not beat up by their job. I mean, they get breaks, they're treated good. You don't see the stereotypical how you're treated in the States. So I'm not saying they don't work hard. They work very hard. They take their job seriously, you know, even if it's 8, 10, 12 hours. But what I'm pointing out is that they're not letting that beat them up. You know, they're still just enjoying life. And to me, that's a very, very attractive state. And then if you've been to Thailand, you know, like Thai girls, they're very happy, joyous, bubbly to kind of be around. They want to do stuff, and you know, that's just their personality. So hopefully this helps. I kind of rambled here and stuff like that, but hopefully that helps. I mean, to me, that's kind of what makes Thailand so attractive, like why Thai girls are so attractive, just because of the culture they grow up in. But other than that, hopefully this helps, and I'll see you in the next video.